Hello, I'm MK Davis. I want to talk a little bit about the Patterson film, and particularly the sandbar where the film was shot. And I want to know everything I can know about that sandbar, and there are some things about it that are worthy of note. I got enough of the frames together to kind of piece together a panorama view, and I was just looking at the positions of things on the sandbar. Here's what I was talking about. Starts out with this log jam over here, and then as you make your way across, of course, you'll see her in this frame and then her in this frame, and she's getting smaller and smaller as she goes away, and she's just walking at an angle away from the camera person. And when I first started looking at this film, they said, well, she's only 1.8 millimeters tall. And I said, in what frame is she 1.8 millimeter? I mean, she's pretty much over this way. She's taking up a good portion of the frame. And then you come over here and she's a little bitty thing. Let's just, here's an animation of it. Once again, it starts with this log jam over here, and it ends with her being very tiny, way off in the distance. Now pay close attention to the sandbar here, because this is what I call the second walk sequence. The first one starts out and she's walking straight away toward the woods there and is about to enter the wood line. And then all of a sudden the scene changes and she's going upstream with that wide open walk and looks back at them. She actually looks back twice. The first time is harder to pick up because it's in a very shaky part of the film. There it is. One time and then a second time. Right there. But what I noticed was right here that there's nothing here, underneath here, and in the earliest part of the frame that I call the first walk sequence, there's a big red pool right there. Let me go back to the panorama. I'll copy that. All right, there it is. There's, you see your log jam. Let me make it bigger. See your log jam going this way. Now let me just look up log jam. That's not it. I'm red old transparent sand. Okay, I must have X'd out of it, so let me go back to it. Here, log jam images. Here's an older image right here. There's your red pool right there. This is a faded, copied version of the film. There's your log jam. And let's see. that ends up being kind of a important thing. And I just said the same thing, so pay attention to the logjam, how it looks. There it is, right there. And we'll go to, this is from another copy of the film that I was privileged to study. And this is Gordon Strassenberg's copy of the film. There's been nothing done here but scanned. You see the red hole? There's no enhancement whatsoever there. The sandbar's a little overexposed. That happens when you copy a film, you copy a film, you copy a film. It builds contrast. So that's why Bob Hieronymus says he was walking on that white sand. And there is no white sand down there. But there is a red pool. Now I've got a better shot of it I got from Miss Patterson. Let me see if I can find it. Wait, red hole logjam. There we go. Ooh. There it is. Now I'm actually at Miss Patterson's house. I went out back in the backyard, and I put a piece of typing paper behind this 4x5 transparency, and I held it up to the sunlight and took this picture. Nothing's been done to it. That is what it is. Let me just get a copy of this and go over here to my program over here and paste. All right. Let's see, there it is. Let's see where we're at now. Just gotta go a little more. There we go. I lined up those two right there. I think that's pretty close. Now you see why the dog print in frame 352 it's only right here. You're not very far from this hole. You know, people say, "Oh, I don't understand where I got a red." Duh. Let's see here. Let's go back to that 352. I'll tell you what, I must have X'd out of it too, so back in I go. Oh, wrong one. There we go. 51 megs. This is another one I got from Miss Patterson. Copy it, put it down here. We just put it over here. Where did it go? Seeds to document area. Okay. Go in through the back door here. It may take me a little while, but I can get down there. Let's go. It must be off the, yeah, it's off. There it is right there. Down at the bottom. Alrighty. Alright. Take it and center it so it don't lose it off the edge. It's a big photo. Right. All right. Where do we find this 352 on the panorama here? Now, first of all, I'd like to establish what this dog print is. All right. Yeah. This right here is the dog print, and I'm trying to get it in position to show you how close the frame 352 should be. Okay, this stump right here, it's right here, right on that edge. Now let's see transparent wise where I'm at. Okay, there we go. Got those logs lined up. And there's a dog print right there. The whole purpose of this is just to give you perspective, the sandbar, how close everything was. And this red hole was here in part of the filming, and then the second part of the filming, there was nothing but a shadow there. There was nothing under that log jam. So that's why you've got to realize that the film has been edited. If you don't do that, you won't never figure this film out. Now, it's easy to jump to the conclusion that somebody's edited it trying to hoax a Sasquatch filming. But that's not the case at all. It's more like somebody edited it to keep you from seeing every part of it. And you still got to see some things that they didn't realize were in there. Let me just make a copy of this. All right. Now I can go back to no, I don't want to do that. Let's see. All right. Right. Dog steps in the bloody red pool, takes a few leaps, and he's right here. And then, with this quality, which I got this thing from Miss Patterson, just like I did the one with the bloody red pool. You see this handprint on this log? I'm sure they didn't intend for that to show. That's a handprint of somebody with like a normal sized human hand. But it's in white, which is this stuff right here. Let me go back over here. Wait to make sure I got it right. Uh-oh. Maybe it's at the top up here. I don't know. Okay, there it is. This is taken from up on the bluff about 3 or 4 years afterwards, after the filming. And they were out there marking the spots and stretching tape and everything. Somebody walked the walk that Patty walked right there, and somebody marked the spot where Patterson was at. Here's the log, and this is the log jam right here. You see there's no hole, period. But what there is, and I'll show you, still there after 3 or 4 years. All right. All right. You can still see equipment tracks right here. See right along there. It's a line you can follow with your eye. Runs into this log. So this log was originally lying this way. The equipment pushed the log this way. This is a square of disturbed soil. When you disturb this stuff, it gets darker. And then you have a lime pile. This, you see the white, it's still there 3 or 4 years later. This is a acidic forest, and lime is alkaline. Nothing grows there. Nothing is growing there to this day. I've been there. It's nothing growing. All around it is lush vegetation, and it's just a big old bald bare spot. I took samples, checked the alkalinity or the acidity, and it was alkaline. And it had carbonates in it, still from 50 years. Carbonates from the carbon oxide, which is quicklime. So this is your bloody red pool. Now let's go back and look at the bloody red pool. If you can imagine, let's see, I could try to twist it around a little bit. There's two different angles, one from the top of the bluff and then the other from the cameraman's angle during the filming. Let's see. But I'll compensate for it some. Oh. When I twisted it, I lost the ability to change the size of it. And to do transparency. I just go back. Now. Now. I hope I'm not boring you, but this is important. Yeah, you have to. It's hard to line them up, two different angles, but this is dead on the money. When the camera person could look off to his left and see this. So that's the sandbar. That's the red hole, the red paw print, the handprint on the log. Don't forget the let's see here, the footprint. There's two handprints on the log. You got that smaller one, and here's a bigger one right here. It's kind of smeared, but it's much, much larger. Same stuff, white stuff. And then you look down here and you see them. All right. Footprint. Dog print. In red. What does all this mean? Well, when you get better versions of the film, it's worth the trip to go to Yakima, Washington, or wherever you have to go to get it. This right here came from John Green, and this right here came from Argosy magazine, who had ender negatives off the original. See the hair, how precise you can see it? Okay, you can see this hair. It's got a split in it right there. Now follow this animation. There you see, I used to call it a braid, and it is a braid, but it's something else. much more important than a braid. When this film right here was shown, this clip right here was shown to an intertribal group of Native American elders, they immediately knew what it was. They said it's a scalp lock. That tells you something more about this film. That a scalp lock is a symbol a person wears when they are a medicine man or medicine woman. This is going this way. The scalp lock is going over the cheek. This is more hair coming back this way. Even in the dot matrix type of print, like Argosy magazine was, those internegatives were so superior. And this was good enough to see it. And the ear. This is a scalp lock. That's a medicine man. That scalp lock denotes his position, and it's called a bariloche, and it means one who knows the way. One who knows the way, and also people from the other side of the mountain. She's wearing a scalp lock. Well, I don't want to go too far into that part right there, but that explains the film. This is not this is not a modern man. This is an ancient person, someone from long ago living in that rough country. They have their medicine men, medicine women. And she was headed to the other side of the mountain. She was the one who knew the way. Until she got interrupted. Likely did not make it. Now, that's what I've been wanting to find out. Whatever you do to got to get to these high quality images, it was worth every bit of effort. The kind of thing that occurred there is not new. It's happened before. It's happened in the 1840s. The state of California paid a bounty for scalps to try to get people out of the way that were in the way of that gold rush. Maybe some of these ancient people, like you see in this film, or maybe the more modern Native American, it didn't seem to matter. They paid you cash for scalps. So it's not new. The only thing changed was the gold was exchanged for wood. Something to think about. I thank you for your time.